Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Heading over to a property that we've been working on for about a month and a half or 2 months now. It's actually the second of the 3 deals that I did in my hat trick video that I talked about a week or so ago. Yesterday, I actually just posted the video of it. Just a fun. Hey, this is dad time. It was a video of myself and my oldest daughter Addie out fishing. We took our 17-foot Hobie Pro Angler out, and we absolutely just crushed it. The reason I bring that up, other than hey, go check it out, because it's a really good video, I think, and it was really fun, and you get to see beautiful Pensacola, and you know, my daughter just absolutely killing it all by herself, catching big old redfish and trout and things like that. Other than that, it almost didn't happen. And the reason it didn't almost happen, and the reason why I'm talking about this video, is that when you fish, the phrase, you know, the early bird gets the worm type of thing, right? Well, you know, you gotta get up early to go fishing sometimes. Not all the time, but we like to get up early so that we can get that morning, that bite right around sunrise. The fish, just like us, they eat and they're hungry. They're usually pretty active. So the reason it didn't almost happen was because I get up, have my alarm set for, I don't know, 4:45 or 5 o'clock in order for us to get to the ramp by 7. It takes a little bit of time. So we got to get up early. Well, as you know, it can be very difficult to get up early sometimes, especially when you stay up a little bit later the night before, just due to me not being able to get to sleep. So I woke up and I was like, man, and it was, oh, by the way, it was supposed to rain all day in the forecast. I didn't think it was going to be very heavy rain. It was going to be kind of that annoying drizzle building into storms later. So you look at the forecast, or the weather guessers, right? They were guessing that it was going to be not super great. So that made my decision a little bit even harder, because like, oh, do I really want to go out? Not only early, I'm nice and comfortable in my bed. Not only early, but now I'm gonna go get rained on and potentially get blown around and all this other kind of stuff throughout the day. Well, I ended up saying, you know what? My daughter, Addie, who is almost 13, and she's just growing so fast. I mean, she's almost 5.5 feet tall already. I mean, she's a tall kid. She's so sweet, she's so smart, she's a couple years ahead in school, and she's gonna be a teenager this year. And it literally, like, in a couple weeks, not just this year, in a couple weeks. So I realized that while we'll always be close, and you know, we'll always love each other, and I will see her, eventually she needs to grow up and move away, and maybe she'll be local, but maybe she won't. And because of that, I'm going to, you know, miss out on some opportunities to see her on a regular basis. I won't see her all the time. I just won't. And that's how life works, and that's how it's supposed to. But I realize that my time is short, and that's really tough for me, especially with my oldest. Not that it's easy with any of them, but you know, she's just that the oldest. Everybody knows who has kids that they just hold a special place in your heart. Because there's only one first, right? So anyway, I said, you know what, we're going fishing, because I know my opportunities are limited, and I know that she really loves it. And we had, you know, she knew we were going the night before, so also she would have been pissed if I didn't go, because I told her we were going to go the night before. So we ended up going out, and we had one of the better fishing days in a while that we've had. We always catch fish, but it was just a blast. I mean, the weather was perfect, a little bit overcast, no rain whatsoever, not even close, until we were almost home from fishing. And so it was a perfect day. The sun even came out a little bit, a rainbow popped up, and we caught a ton of fish. We caught a ton of fish. I mean, in the video that I did, you see some of the fish we caught, but I had to cut a lot out. I mean, I was running out of time. It was still a relatively long video. So the good news is that every second of that video is pretty entertaining and loaded with action. So that's what's cool. But it was still kind of a long video, and I cut out 75% of what I recorded, probably. I didn't even show the beautiful beaches and our turtle rescue and us cruising around with dolphins and all this other kind of stuff that, you know, we have on a regular basis. It made me think of something that I just recently heard, and I actually heard it from my wife, Katie. It's, someday is not a day of the week. It's not, right? If I would have woken up and said, hey, I'm gonna just set the alarm, or hit snooze on the alarm, or hey, you know what, we'll just go some other day. I got tons of time. Yeah, she's almost 13, but she won't be 18 and moving out until a while, and she'll probably go to school locally, and then she'll be here for a couple of years. But someday will come when she's grown and she's moving out of the house and she's driving down the road, and I won't see her like I do now every day. I won't get to say hi to her every day. I won't get to hug her every day and give her a kiss every day and tell her I love her every day. And someday will come, but someday is not a day of the week. Now you can apply that to your family, and me personally, I think that's the most important place to apply it, is your family, because you can always go out and make money. From the day you're, you know, a young kid to the day you die, you can always make money. You can always start a business. Now you may miss opportunities along the way, but you can always do those things. And age, with very few exceptions, is not really a hindrance. But you only have a short amount of time. You have 18 summers with your kids. And to me, that is super, super important. Now, it doesn't mean after 18, they're never your kids anymore. I get it. But there's special time, that special time when they're there in your household, and when you're responsible, and when they look to you for their health, welfare, and well-being, when they rely on you, and you're teaching them to become self-reliant, but they still do rely on you. That's a very, very, very critical and important and special time in not only their lives, but in yours as well. So take those opportunities. Don't say someday I'll go, you know, do this with my kid, or someday we'll go on that trip, or someday we'll do this thing or that thing, right? Because someday will come. It'll come, and it's going to come, and you're going to regret it, because you're going to look back at all the things that you could have done or you should have done, right? And they'll be gone. Now, you can apply that to your business as well, right? That business application. Like I said earlier, yeah, there's time to do, you know, business. I do real estate, amongst other things, and investing, but there's time when you get older. But if you miss opportunities, say someday I will go buy that rental property. Someday I'll go learn how to buy a commercial property. Someday I'm going to invest in real estate. Someday I'm going to go, you know, do this or do that. Name whatever it is, right? Someday I'm going to go do that. But what happens? Someday turns into Monday, into Tuesday, into Saturday, into next week, into next month, into next year, right? Someday is not a day of the week, but we use it a lot, and it comes up quite often in our lives, right? Just like the days, the weeks, the months, and the years. And before long, someday will come. It's not a day of the week, but it's a point in your future, right? It's a point in your life. Someday will come, and you're going to regret not taking that leap, not taking that step towards achieving financial wealth and independence and attaining freedom. Why do I say all that? Well, it's because you can do a lot more than you think you can. You might not know how to buy a rental property. Guess what? I did a video on that. How to buy a rental property, the BRRRR process. I did a video on how to cold call a commercial seller. I did videos on my favorite books that I like. That doesn't mean they're the best books in the world, but they're very influential in helping me to buy, sell, flip, whatever, rental properties and commercial properties and things like that. And that's the whole point of this channel. That's why I'm doing these videos. It's not to monetize things. I'm not going to get millions of views. I'm here to help you guys out. I'm here to help you guys out because I know it can be stressful, and I know that I said someday I'm going to do this, someday I'm going to do that, and that day, someday, thankfully, thank God, someday came, but it wasn't until 2017 that it came. And in the real estate world, I got in sort of in time, but it was a lot later than it should have been. And if I had done it someday, if I had actually executed or taken the risk or taken the chance when I initially started saying someday, I'd be worth probably 5 or 10 times what I'm worth today. All right, and the reason is because there was some unbelievably amazing opportunities that presented themselves to me with some work. It wasn't like they just fell in my lap, but things that I could have done early on in my life if I had just studied and been a little bit more open earlier on in my career. And I wasn't, and you know, it is what it is. But someday came, I learned, I made some mistakes, and now I'm doing, you know, much better. And I'm here to help you, to try and motivate you and encourage you to make someday today. All right, go ahead and do that thing that you have been putting off and saying, someday I'm gonna do this. Someday I will read that book about real estate. Someday I'm gonna watch that video about how to buy and sell real estate. Someday I'm gonna go buy the property, right? Someday I'm going to take my wife on our honeymoon. Someday I'm gonna go take my kid fishing and teach them what I know, or hunting, or whatever. Whatever it is in your life, right? I understand that there are some financial and time constraints where you can't do everything, but don't put off what you can do today, right? Because someday will come, and it's not a day in the week, all right? So anyway, I hope you got something out of that. I just pulled up to my rental property. I'm gonna go get to work painting. I'm wearing my painting shirt representing U of I, NROTC today. But anyway, if you got any questions, if you got any concerns, if you're wondering how I do things or how to do a certain thing, even if I don't know how to do it, I love learning. I know a lot of people who do a lot of different things. I can reach out to them and be like, hey bro, this guy's got this question, you're the expert on this, can I give you his contact information, or her your contact information? And they're going to be absolutely willing to do that. Okay, so anyway, hit me up, let me know if you got any questions. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Get these videos on a regular basis, because I want you guys to learn, to gain confidence, and to actually go out and execute. All right, hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Until next time, here's to your wealth.